When Abraham made a deal with his nephew Lot about where to go with their great large flocks, Lot looked down from the heights and he saw this plain with green, and that was where he wanted to have his flocks. There was a large city there in that plain area, and that large city was called Sodom or Sodom. Sodom was here. There you can see the plain just behind me. The plain of Sodom has still got a lot of growth there, and evidently that was a big change for the land around, because the hills above us are actually literally made out of salt. And if you can imagine going into a place where the hills are made out of salt and the plain has a green area for the flocks to be, which would you choose? And of course, Lot chose Sodom. Of course, the rest of the story is that even though he was a judge in Sodom, and he was one of the guys that sat in the gate of Sodom, so he was a judge, even though he was in a very important position, he didn't take authority over the massive sin that was there in Sodom. And God came to have a dealing with that sin. And ultimately the city was utterly destroyed because of the sin of Sodom. Lot himself managed to escape, his wife with him, his two daughters. They ran up into the hills made out of salt. And the commandment was, don't look back. If you look back, there will be a punishment. And Lot's wife looked back, and God changed her into a pillar of salt on a mountain of salt. Never going to find that, because she just became part of the mountain.